I want to go over to a bit of a rapid fire questions. I want to throw it towards you right now. Um, Favorite British horror movie?
God. Um, favorite, I probably own this. I know, The Woman in Black.
Ah, very good. Cool. Very good. Wicker Man's my favorite one. Best remake of
Oh,
a horror
actually, Wicker
movie.
Man. You know what, right? So it's a toss-up. I went to the cinema again last year to watch Wicker Man. I've got
Right,
the book
73,
and
yeah.
the soundtrack, yeah. But The Woman in Black was the greatest jump scare I've ever had. And it was a
Hmm.
TV movie as well. So yeah,
Yeah. Best remake of a horror movie
The Thing.
thing. Since we got the In Search of Darkness 1990-1994 coming out soon, what would you say is the most underrated 90s horror movie?
Underrated. Um, Gosh. Perhaps something like Wishmaster. I know
Okay.
it's a bit
Yeah.
later into the 90s. But I'm actually still discovering 90s. But about a year ago, when we knew we were going to do the 90 to 94, the team was set this agenda of watching all the movies so we could channel into the aesthetic for early 90s. And I saw some great movies. But Wishmaster, I think, is a little bit later. But I just loved how that was totally 90s. Like it just everything, like the performances, the um so I'd say that I'm sure if I gave this more thought, I would come up with a better option. Oh, you know what? It depends what you mean by underrated. So I feel like a lot
So
of yeah,
when I say underrated, I'm talking about so when people say 90s horror movies, they say Scream, they say Sixth Sense stuff. I'm talking
yeah.
about those films that maybe would have come out
Or
like early
Brain
in the
Dead
90s. Brain
or
Dead?
Dead Alive, right? So
Yeah.
Brain Dead if you're in Europe and Dead Alive if you're in US. Peter Jackson's like second or third feature um, is is probably underrated. I mean, it's a phenomenal full-on gore fest, but does it with class and style and finesse, and it's funny as hell. And because I used to watch that a lot as a teenager, and I still
Mm.
go back to it now, and I still really enjoy it.
For me, I have two picks for that decade. Exorcist Part Three, which I think is just fantastic film, and In the Mouth of Madness. We're talking about John Carpenter before as well, and I choose them as underrated because, especially something like an Exorcist Part Three, to have like the follow ups on something that's as big as something like The Exorcist. I mean, anything that comes afterwards will be kind of pale in comparison. But I think number three with what William Peter Blatty does as a director and writer in that film is just fantastic in that movie. I'm a
Got
big
so many
fan of that
moments.
film.
Again, an amazing jump scare as well.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
recently, a few months ago, had that as a watch party, and I rewatched it again. I actually quite like Exorcist too. I know it's
Mm.
not 90s, but I
The
just love
Heretic.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You were talking earlier in a conversation that you went out for pizza once with your family. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes, yeah. I don't do it personally, but when I was a teenager, I used to work at Pizza Hut,
Hmm.
and they used to have the Hawaiian pizza there. So yeah, I haven't had one in a long time, but yeah, I'm not. It doesn't appall me.
Opinion is very split on that. I've got 2-2 so far on that so far. With that one, and I gotta say, the no's are way more vocal about it than the yeses. The yes, like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, sure,
yeah,
why not? But the
yeah. I
no's
don't
like,
mind it. I don't
hell
mind it.
no, you know.
Yeah.
Last one, favorite horror poster. Or like favorite poster of a horror film.
Oh, that's such a good question. All right, so there's loads for different reasons. Picking a favorite is nigh on impossible. What comes to my mind, all right, the great thing about 80s VHS poster art and cover art, if we can include that, is
Yeah, of
that
course. Yeah.
often the poster art and the cover art was actually way better than the movie,
Hmm.
right? But it kind of sold you on the movie. So one of the ones that I really love is the Video Dead.
Okay.
If you Google that, it's the hand coming through the TV and it's really
Mhm.
visceral. Anything by Graham Humphreys generally is pretty amazing. And gosh, if I was gonna pick my favorite one, it would probably be The Thing.
Okay, that's a great one too. Yeah, I love that one. I got that somewhere on the side here, out of shot here. Yeah, but that's a great one too. And I especially love the title sequence of that as well in the movie. We just had the kind
And
of like
how they
the
did it,
thing kind
yeah.
of, yeah. Suppose it was a garbage bag or something, right? And they kind of
Yeah,
put
yeah,
a
in
lighter or
an
something.
aquarium,
Yeah,
yeah. This is the thing. So I'm looking at doing after Aliens expanded, I'm looking at doing The Thing expanded. And what we
yeah.
don't want to do is just retread because there's some great, they're on YouTube, some of the extras, and you're a committed fan of The Thing. I can tell that you've got the poster up, you know about some of the stories. What I want to do is reanalyze The Thing,
Mm,
expand on the lore, look at, why did scenes work? Like, what can we learn from this movie? How can we see it in a new way? So I think
yeah.
that's the value in what we're trying to do now. Is we're trying to take something you know really well, intimately, and extract even more value from it.
Thank you for watching the Matt's Movie Reviews channel. Please subscribe for more reviews, podcast interviews, and exclusive content.